Today, you're going to learn 5 incredible opening traps to obliterate Caro-Kann players in as little as 6 moves. Subscribe if you're ready, let's go. The first trap is a smothered checkmate in just 6 moves. We start off with e4, and after the Caro-Kann, we're going to play the move d4, and after d5, we are going to develop our knight to c3, where when black decides to capture on e4, we are ready to capture back on e4 just like so with our knight. Now, some of your opponents are going to try and prepare the move knight f6 with the move knight d7. This move has been played over 2.6 million times, and after this, you're going to play this beautiful sneaky move queen to e2. And the reason is, after a move which has been played 30,000 times, knight f6, which was prepared by this, well, you have made him one with knight d6, a beautiful smothered checkmate in just 6 moves, because black can't capture back because of this beautiful queen with the pin on the king. The second trap I'm going to show you is a queen sacrifice for checkmate. It starts off with the moves knight c3, and then after d5, you're going to play knight to f3, where when they decide to capture you on e4, you capture back, and after you move bishop f5, attacking your knight on e4, you're ready to drop it back to g3 to counter-attack this bishop, where now, of course, they decide to retreat to g6. Now, you're going to play the beautiful move h4, threatening to play the move h5, which actually traps this bishop, where now they play the best move h6, giving their bishop a little bit of breathing room. Now, you decide to play the move knight e5, starting to put some more pressure on this bishop, so they decide to move back to h7, where you can now play this beautiful queen h5, threatening a checkmate on f7 just like so. So if they don't notice it, you have checkmate in 9 moves. Well done. But they probably will notice it, and they'll play the best move g6, where now you have the beautiful bishop c4, a full-on queen sacrifice, because the idea is, well, if they capture your queen, you have bishop takes f7, a beautiful checkmate in just 10 moves. But it's not always going to be that easy. Instead, some of your opponents are going to play the best move with the move e6, where now you can follow up with the move queen e2. And the 2 most common moves in this position, bishop g7 and knight f6, are both completely losing. For example, after bishop g7, you have knight takes f7, and when black captures back, you have queen takes e6, and black's only square is to f8, and queen f7 is checkmate in just 13 moves. And well, what else happens after they play the move e6 and queen e2? I showed you guys the move bishop g7, well, what happens if they play the move knight f6? Well, it's practically the exact same thing, with knight takes f7, a fork on the queen and the rook, so if they decide to capture back, well then, boom, queen takes e6, and then queen f7, checkmate in just 13 moves. The next trap is how you guys can win black's queen in just 12 moves. We're going to play the move d4, and after d5, we're going to play knight c3. After the trade in the center of the board, black might play the move bishop f5, the second most common move, being played 9.5 million times, and after this, we drop back to g3 with our knights, forcing them back to g6. After this, we're going to play the move h4, with a similar idea as in the last trap. Our idea is to try and go for h5 and trap this bishop, where now they play the best move h6 to give their bishop some breathing space, and after this we simply develop our knight to f3. After the move e6, we're now going to jump into e5 with our knight, putting some pressure on this bishop and asking them, well, what are you going to do? And after they play the best move, again with the move bishop h7, which shows you guys how powerful these traps are, we're now going to simply offer a trade of bishops with the move bishop d3. But now, black might try and be clever. They realize that this move bishop d3 cut off our queen's defense of d4. And so, they might think, well, we're simply just going to capture this, right, on d4. Well, here is the issue, because now we are winning because we have the move knight takes f7, a brilliant move. First of all, if black simply decides to try and take your bishop, you're going to capture on h8 and you're totally winning. Also, they might not try and do that. If they don't capture your bishop and instead capture your knight on f7, trying to save their rook, well, you now have the beautiful bishop g6, check on the king, and discovered attack on the queen. And it doesn't matter how they take back, you're simply going to win the queen on the next move, and you are up a queen in just 12 moves. Lots of you may be aware of the Alien Gambit, and trap number 4 is in the Alien Gambit. It comes after the moves d4, d5, knight c3. You could also play the move knight d2 because it doesn't really make much difference when they capture back, because you're able to capture either way. In this case, we're just going to capture back like this. When they play the move knight f6, you're now going to jump your knight to g5, and after the move h6, trying to remove your knight from black's position, you're going to say no, 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 and instead you're going to jump into black's position just like this. First of all, it is a fork on the queen and the rook, so really the best move for black is to capture back on f7, just like so. Where after this, you're simply going to develop your knight to f3, just like this, and after the move bishop e6, trying to be safe and cut off any potential bishop checks, you're now going to play the move knight e5 check, jumping into black's position once again, and after they decide to go to e8, you're now going to play the move bishop d3, setting up some absolutely devastating checks along this diagonal, because the point is, first of all, let's say black tries to develop their knight to the move d7, you now have mate in 2 with bishop g6 check, their only move is to block with their bishop, and it is a beautiful checkmate supported by this knight just like so. But that isn't the only thing, because after the move bishop d3, a bit like in the last trap, black might realize that, well, this is now hanging. But the question is it really? Because now, as you guys can see from the eval bar, white is totally winning, because we have the move bishop g6 check. Wherever the king moves next, you simply pick up the queen on the next move and you are completely winning. Subscribe if you enjoyed that trap, by the way. The fifth and final trap that I'm going to show you guys is one of the coolest chess traps I've ever seen, and I'm sure you guys are going to love it as well. It starts off after the Caro-Kann, of course, and then we're going to play d4, they're going to play d5, and we're going to follow up with knight c3. As with a lot of traps in this video, they're going to have a trade on e4 just like so, and after the move knight f6, instead of playing the move knight g5 as we looked at in the Alien Gambit in the last trap, I'm going to show you guys a trap after the beautiful move queen d3, supporting our knight on the e4 square. After the move e5, we're now going to play the move d takes e5, attacking this knight and also offering a trade of queens. When they decide to decline with the move queen a5 check, we're now going to play the move bishop d2, and when they decide to capture back on e5 with a nice little combo, we are now going to long castle our king, completely sacrificing this knight on the e4 square, where when they decide to actually capture it, we now have mate in just 3 moves, with the beautiful queen d8 check. A beautiful sacrifice, because black's only move is to actually capture this queen back, where now we have the move bishop g5, double check on the king, absolutely beautiful, and black's king only has 2 squares, and either of them are checkmate in 1 move. If they go to c7, bishop d8 is a beautiful checkmate in 11 moves, and if they decide to go to e8, rook d8 is a beautiful checkmate in 11 moves, and that is how you can destroy the Caro-Kann in just 11 moves with a beautiful queen sacrifice. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one, and click the playlist on the left of your screen. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.